I'm Brigit Tronrud. I'm the Natural History Collections Management Specialist here at the Manitoba Museum, and I was hoping to tell you guys about bird egg collections. First things first, it's important to note that in Canada it is illegal to damage, destroy, remove, possess, exchange, or sell birds, eggs, and nests under the Migratory Birds Convention Act, as well as the Manitoba Wildlife Act here in Manitoba. The egg collections at the museum are all historical collections, so they were taken from the wild by a collector before any of these acts were put in place. And the museum has a scientific educational permit to be able to possess the eggs and house them safely here. One of the unique things about eggs is that they're really hard to attach a label to. So in the past, a lot of the information about how an egg was collected was actually just written on the egg itself, and that way all of its data and the actual object could be kept together. Collectors would write their numbers on the egg and then fill out collection cards with all of the data about the collection. It would have all of the when it was collected, the where, the kinds of habitat or locality that they encountered when collecting the egg, sometimes what the nest was made out. They could get very detailed about it. Especially with historical collections, it's very frequent that an egg will remain, but its card will have been separated at some point over the years, and we will lose all of this beautiful data that the collector has put a lot of work into. Nowadays, when we write our catalog numbers on eggs, that number can be searched on our digital database instead of a card system, and that way it'll be less likely to have that data become disassociated with the specimen itself. You can see that this egg here has come with an original label. The original label has the bird's identification, a rough locality of where it was collected, and the date of when it was collected. And I think that says 1906. This is our own museum label that we've updated. Even though not much of the data is actually that different from the original label, it's still good to have our own interpretation of it. When we write catalog numbers on our eggs, we use archival pigment ink, and we write directly on the shell, and it's just the number. And I'm putting the number right next to what is called the blowhole. And the reason that we're putting the number right close to the blowhole, as you can see on the historical eggs here, is so that we can keep the area to a minimum of where we're affecting this egg. When we're writing labels on any specimen and not just bird eggs, it's important that we put our label on a part of the specimen that doesn't have any identifying characteristics or any interesting characteristics. We want as plain of a field as possible. For example, it's sort of hard to see, but the blowhole is in the middle of all of those splotches, and so I've just written the number on a place a little clearer. Thank you so much for learning about eggs and labeling with me here. There are tons of eggs actually on display in the galleries at the Manitoba Museum, so you should definitely come down and take a look.